Okay, I'm going to start with the cross cutting now. Now I want to do both edges because both edges are untidy. But I'm going to start with this side on this piece here with a very fine feathered edge piece, and then move to that one for the exact precise cut. For an example, I'm going to be starting with all the shells. The shells are simple. I've got a stack of 8 of these here. I've got 5 of them there. So these 8 all want to be the same size. That's very simple. And I want both edges to be done, both edges to be tidy. This is perfectly square. I shove it on here and I'll do a very fine trim off of that. Simple. Then I'll take it to this one. Set it with a saw, bump, and run it through there. So of course. Set it to there. So this exact, run it through, that one's done. Both sides done nice and simple, and everything is lovely and square, and I know it works properly. So that's what we want to get on with. Right, first ones I want are at 870. So I'll set this here, 870. There's there. That's correct. Okay, so 870. Quick look, see how much surplus we've got. I'll break that down. See how much surplus we've got. There, I've got 10mm. So I can take here 5 there. So say it's 5mm. All I want to do is just shave the edge of this. I'm not after taking the amount off, I just want to shave it, and that's all I'll do, just shave it like that. Okay, begin. Okay, well that's that side's done. Now I need to set for the next one. But as you can see, it's a very quick process having the double set up there. Next I want 1000 by 300. This one's set to 1000 exactly. By the door, we've got a light switch there. I am reducing the centre ones. I want them now at 968 because I'm making the fillets at the side bigger. The reason being, the one by the door, we've got a light switch there. And it's going to be hidden by the bookcase. So what I'm going to do is put an architrave light switch onto the bookcase itself by putting a wider fillet down and mount it on there. So it's in front of the bookcase and right where you'd expect the door switch to be. So for that I'm giving it another 20mm. So I'm taking 20mm off of the centre bookcase stand right the way through the lot. So I've just got to be very aware of that as I'm redoing everything, because I've already got it in my mind that they're 1 metre wide. They're not anymore. So now I want them 986. 986. to be measuring with a blade, like I'm doing here, just remember, you want it at the tungsten carbide tip, not on the flat steel. Okay, that's good. Right, now I can run them four through, and that one. They're all the same size. Yeah, they all need to be the same size. So we'll then pie through, and that should then be all 15 of the shelves done, because that's how many shelves I need. What I'll start now is jointing. The shelves need nothing. They can be put aside ready for the finishing stage. What I want to concentrate on is the 3 long pieces. Get them biscuit jointed together and ready for doweling up. Then the uprights, I can get the dowels done on them, and then into the cross members. And then there's just a case of putting all the peg holes into the shelves, into the uprights for the shelves. And then sand it all down. Okay, next stage. Start assembling the middle pieces, the cross members. Right, now as you can see from these, this is the 3 full stretcher pieces that will be the base, divide and top. The top is the narrowest, the next 2 are the same size. The centres are bigger than the outers by 30mm. I set it back to there, so that the backs are flush. Then I'm going to biscuit joint them, 3 biscuits in each, glue them together, and then later I will be doweling them so that the upright fits in the middle of it, covering that joint completely, hiding it away, and the dowel will go through it. Now the joint will be plenty strong enough by the time we get to that point, with biscuits and glue. And all it'll ever have is vertical pressure. So, and it'll be stacked. So the bottom one will be supported from the floor. Then it will have a vertical going to the underside of this one. That'll be a vertical going to the underside of the top. So that line will be supporting itself all the way up. So there'll never be any give that way. And it can't stack because it will be feathered to the wall. So there'll be no movement anywhere. So I'm pretty confident that this system will work. The only dilemma is the delicateness of these sizes, getting them to site. They're just under 3 metres long, so they will lay flat in the van. So as long as I'm careful transporting them between here and the van and the site, shouldn't be any problem. But initially, we need to get it all assembled. So, to start off with, biscuits. For those of you that have not used biscuits before and still think there might be some sort of a food source, they're not. Well, you can eat them if you're really hungry. They're a jointing peg. Just an advancement from a dowel, really. It fits in 50% into each piece, and when you apply glue, it swells slightly, so it gives you that extra grip. They come in 3 sizes: 0, 10 and 20. I'm going to get the box open I'll show you the difference between them sizes. We've got a 20. A little closer? Yeah. There. Then we've got a 10. Can you see? And then we've got a 0. There. Not a lot of difference in it, but there is in thickness as well. So, when you're coming to make small stuff, then obviously the 0 and up to the 10 and then the 20. I'll be using 20s in this because it's an 18mm thick board, so it will take that plentiful. And I'll be using 3 in each one. Now, again, if you've not used them before, you'll be wondering, how do we make the shape to get in there? Well, there's a couple of ways. You can use a router and a biscuit jointing bit in the router. Myself, I find that very fiddly. The best way, the biscuit jointer. It has on there calibration from the 0s through to the 10s. Through to the 20, sorry. And there we are. 0, 10 and 20. Now the jointer's got other settings on it as well to keep taking it further and further, but we're not interested in all that lot. We're just interested in the 3 joint sizes. Take it up to the 20 that we want. I believe the top mark, yeah, that's it, good. Been a while since I've used this one. Right, the top mark there, that's the 20. Now then, what you do is simply, as it's running, it simply pushes, and it pushes the blade out. And it pushes it out exactly the depth you've set with this setting here, which has got a micro adjuster on it, should you need to, if it's a new machine, you need to get this set up and get it correct for the biscuits. But otherwise, it should push it out exactly what you want. Now then, on the front, we're interested in this centre mark. This tells you the exact centre of that biscuit. And we're interested in that is because that is how we mark our timbers. We're going to have 3 biscuits. We're going to have 3 joints. Now you don't have to take measure and all that sort of stuff, but because I've got so many of them and I might get them mixed up, I will do, because that means I'll get them accurate. Right, so on the pine, I want one in the dead centre. So I'm putting it on the joint of this one and the dead centre of that one. So that will give me a good grip there. And you see, that will just nicely fit without protruding. Then I'm coming down from that one, 100mm and another 100mm, making this back one just shy of the back there, which is what you want. It will stop any twisting of the board as well if you've got support right across there. So that's the 3 points. Now then lines are what you line up with that red mark that I said when you're doing it. Okay, the next thing you want to do is set this. Now the calibration on these tells you the distance from the centre of that blade. So you don't have to work out the thickness of the blade. The thickness of the timber is 18mm. Half that, 9mm. Set this to 9mm. And as you'll see there, I am set to 9mm. That will now put me dead centre. Let's use a piece of scrap and see. And you see it there? Dead centre. Perfect. That's just where I want to be. To that. Right, now, like everything else, run a test piece first. I've got plenty. Okay, so let's just run on the back of here a quick test with this just to make sure everything is good. Now, when you're looking through there, you will see your line, what you're wanting. I'll put one there just to help you understand. I aim there at that line and I turn it on at the switch first. Okay. And there we are. And that will fit inside there just like that. And there we have it. One biscuit. Now you saw how tight that was getting in. When you apply glue, it will swell a little. Not enough to expand your wood, so don't worry about that. but it will swell enough to make sure that you've got a good tight grip and it will never come out again. And it's very hard stuff. So, perfect. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, that's all I'm marked up. Yeah, go and do the blade first. Now, in all the uprights, I've drilled peg holes all the way up, both sides. Well, that's front and back. And on the centre ones, I've drilled them on both sides. Unfortunately, the video that I did doing that got corrupted, so I'm just going to have to quickly run through how that is done. It's a very simple process, very easy. And all I do is use a drilling guide, which is this standard drilling guide. It has space at the bottom. What they assume will be the lowest anybody would want, a shelf, and same at the top. And then the spacings. You've got the choice, and it's about 15mm or 30mm. It's up to you. I've done 2 holes, jumped one every other one, and done that all the way up and all the way back down the other side. Now I've come in from the edge enough to support. It's absolutely optional how far you go on that one. Although there is a difference. This is the inner section, so it's wider. The outer section's narrower. You see, so I just followed the joint line there to keep it straight all the way up. And I set the pillar drill to the depth and to the distance, and just laboriously went through them all. I think there's about 500 holes or something, but they've all got to be correct. Because to take these, they're little antique shell pegs in a nickel, so it'll blend in nicely. You don't want them loose. That will need tapping in. When you're drilling to do a job like this, you'll probably know yourself, you get little fibres sticking up there. No matter how much you sand it, they're still in the hole. You've got to have them gone when you're doing this type of thing. In a laminate, it's easy, they just clean go, but not in natural wood. So what I will do during the sanding process is I will use this. It's a little file on the drill, and it fits in very nicely, like so. And we'll clean out the hole as you're going, and then you just sand over it again. But you'll see me doing that again, obviously, with every hole as I'm sanding. Okay, so that's it. That's basically how to put in peg holes for adjusting in all of the uprights. They need to be in all the uprights. Obviously, the outer ones only need it on one side. Then follow the inner ones need it on both sides, but you've got to remember the size of the shelves change when you're going on the inner ones and when you're going further up, if you're doing something like this. So you're just keeping them things in mind. Now also on the video was me pointing out the dowel holes, nothing special about that, just general 8mm holes, set in whatever distance you want, so you've got enough left over to go into the horizontals. I've drilled all them out. I didn't put the dowels in because we needed the next stage to use the dowel pegs to mark out the locations on the horizontals. And that was it. So hopefully that sorts that out. If you've got any questions, you can just ask me and I will walk and talk you through that bit. But it's reasonably straightforward. You just need a drilling guide for the peg holes. Or make a drilling guide. You can make them, just be very careful to get it right.